Hey there, I'm Shane Renard at Renard Realty, and today I wanted to talk about the 1031 Starker exchanges. What do I need to know about these and this special IRS tax code? Well, in real estate, a 1031 Starker exchange is a swap of an investment property for another property that allows capital gain taxes to be deferred. The term which it gets the name IRS Section 1031. So, if the key takeaways from this benefit that you should learn today is that a 1031 exchange is a swap of properties that are held for a business or an investment purpose, okay? And then the properties being exchanged must be considered by the IRS tax code to be like kind in the eyes of the IRS for the capital gains to be deferred. If if used correctly, there is no limit on how many times and how frequently you can do a 1031 exchange, okay? The rules can apply to a former primary resident under specific conditions, and then broadly stated as a 1031 or like kind or a starker is a swap of the investment property for another. Okay, so you don't have to pay your taxes on it. Although most swaps are taxable as sales, if yours meets the requirements for the 1031, you'll either have no tax or limited tax due at the time of the exchange. In effect, you can exchange the form for your investment without, as the IRS sees it, cashing out or recognizing it as a capital gains. That allows your investment to continue to grow tax deferred for a very long time. There's no limit on how many times you can do this or how frequently as well. So you can roll over the gain from one piece to another and another and another. Do you get where I'm going with this? Although you have profit on each swap, you avoid the tax until you sell many, many years down the road. And then it all works out as planned. You'll pay only one tax, and that at a long-term capital gain rate. Currently, I think it's 15 to 20 depending on your income, and zero for the lower income taxpayers. Most exchanges must merely be like kind, and they use that as a very liberal term. So you can exchange an apartment building for raw land or a ranch home or a strip mall. They're very liberal on it. You can exchange a business for another business. So the 1031 provision has different rules of what you're doing, and you can apply to a former residence under certain conditions. There are always ways you can use that 1031 for swapping vacation homes as well. More later on this, but this is a loophole that I wanted to advise you about, and there are special rules when doing this. So definitely check with your financial planner, and also with your tax accountant. In general, when you're swapping one building for another, you can avoid this recapture. But if you exchange improved land with a building for an unimproved land without a building, the depreciation you're previously claiming on the building will be recaptured as your ordinary income. So careful on that when you're stepping down. Such complications, really talk to your advisors. Have that good team. Please, just please talk to your financial advisor, your tax accountant, and your attorney. I don't ever want to see any of my fellow investors get into a bind because they just think that it's going to work for them. But the odds of finding someone with the exact property that you want is going to be slim. So be careful, because you do have time frames that you got to meet. The majority of the exchanges are delayed three-party starkers, but they are allowing some delayed exchanges. You need to qualify for who will hold the cash after you sell, but that's where your financial advisor would come in. So kind of talk to him about what the time frames are and if he can hold it as a middleman until you purchase your next starker. So on the 45-day rule, that relates to the designation of the placement of the property, and once the sale of the property occurs, the intermediary will receive the cash. You can't receive the cash, or you'll be taxed on it immediately. Within the 45 days of the sale of the property, you must designate the placement property in the writing to the intermediary, specifying that the property you want to acquire. Then the IRS can designate 3 properties as long as you eventually close on one of them, and then you can designate more than 3 if they fall within a certain valuation. Okay. There is a 100-day rule as well, and that is a delayed exchange as well, that you must close on the new property within 180 days of the sale of the old property. Okay, so bottom line, you have two timelines: the 45-day or the 180, and definitely do your homework on this with your people. And if there's anything that I can do to assist, I'm Shane Renard with Renard Realty, 920-606-4436, and I hope to help you in the future. Take care.